knuckle teeth.
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yes.
my
I get to
God.
declare who my father is on the live stream. Absolutely.
And Gerald's not here for this.
Yeah, Jared's missing all the fun. Don't worry, he's getting a shout out. Don't worry.
No, it's young Gerald.
Young Gerald and the Flat Earthers.
No.
GeraldFlatEarth.com.
No, don't.
We could totally call out Flat Earthers.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, see?
Yes.
Oh, I was talking about Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry.
I mean,
we're
that
going to
too,
tell
but,
people
like-
that Jerry loves Flat Earth theory and that if you want to get
Don't.
credible information, go to him.
You're getting so deep in
Talk
this.
shit about flat earthers all you want, but don't, because I don't feel like dealing with that bullshit between the two of you.
Okay, ICP hater.
Fuck them.
Oh, great.
Please
Now
bring
you're-
up Trapped.
Now
Please
you're
bring
getting
up
the
Trapped.
juggalos after us.
Fuck them.
See,
I mean, I'm
that's worse.
not afraid of like Trapped and their 3 fans. That's
Yeah.
okay. I can live with that. The juggalos, I don't know.
I don't mind. I don't mind juggalos.
They'd have to take off their 6XL hockey fucking jerseys to do something in the first grade.
All right, yeah, this is already over.
I saw a juggalo beat up a cop with a banana once.
See, that's typical Juggalo behavior. Like, the look of surprise isn't on my face.
Yeah, where's Chris Taylor Brown, that piece of shit?
Tag him.
Yeah. Tag him.
Hold on a second. Are we stalling you from being ready? Okay.
He's been live for 5 minutes.
I'm ready to go.
I think we've been live.
We've been live?
We've been,
All right.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Facts.
yeah. We caught like the first like minute of that.
All right, awesome.
All right, so welcome to the NEPA Scene Podcast, the only live streaming face-to-face arts and entertainment podcast covering northeastern Pennsylvania, offering a true alternative voice in local media. We're coming to you from the NEPA Scene studio underneath Center City Print in downtown Scranton. I'm Rich Howells, the founder and editor of NEPA Scene, and tonight we're here with Scranton beatdown metalcore band No Fight, No Victory. In their first interview together, we're talking about how the group formed and developed into this current lineup, how different this band is from their other musical projects, the inspiration behind the songs on their debut EP Plot Armor, as well as their newest singles Caged in Fear and the Godhand, the making of the brutal Godhand music video, the local metal and hardcore scene, their upcoming headlining show at the V Spot in Scranton this Friday, February 28th, opening for Walls of Jericho at Lovedraft's Brewing last year, and what their plans are for this year, and much, much more. So please join our conversation with your questions and comments down below. We'll get to those later on in the show. They really, really want to hear from one guy in particular, I think.
Yeah, Gerald, bring it on.
Before we dive in, I
Gerard.
want to thank our sponsor, Center City Print, who provided us with this great studio space. Use promo code NEPA Scene in person or online for 10% off. Center City Print can bring your ideas to life in 4 locations: Scranton, Old Forge, Kingston, and Hazleton. These one-stop shops are locally owned and operated, offering high-quality printed products, copy and print services, and design solutions to help you, your small business, your nonprofit organization, your band, your art project, your event, or any venture thrive. Use promo code NEPA Scene in person or online at centercityprint.com for 10% off.
At this exact second.
I won't do it.
Now
if you're really gonna do that.
I'm not gonna be mad.
I really want. I really want to.
I just don't want to deal with it.
I'll sprinkle it in there later.
All right, well, to start, can you please introduce yourselves and tell us your position in the band?
Start with Rick.
Rick McLodgy, bassist.
That's how you say your
That's
last
how
name?
you say your last name?
I'm not being a smartass. I literally had no idea. I didn't know. Like, I'm not being a smartass. I didn't know. Like, I swear to God, I didn't know.
I thought it was.
I'm not being a dick.
Lochi.
No, not even fucking close.
I thought it was like McClure.
No, go ahead, vocalist. Go ahead. Fuck. Start this off great.
I'm Jessie Stewart. I'm the vocalist.
Kenneth Watkins, guitar and vocals.
Dave Klein, guitar.
So how did you first get into music and pick up an instrument, and how long have you been doing it?
I started off in high school just in a really shitty little Blink-182 cover band.
Nice.
Dropped it for about 9 years. They asked me to pick it back up and kind of been here on the ride.
Okay.
Oh, it's my turn.
No, you're just sitting next to me.
Yeah, it's your turn.
I started doing vocals when I was a teenager.
You started screaming at people when you were
Yeah, I mean, I started screaming when I came out of the womb.
Well, yes, of course.
That's what her mother told her.
That's what my mom told me. I figured out that I could do it when I was listening to Bring Me the Horizon when I was like 14 years old, and kind of just went from there. And I always wanted to be in a band, and then I ended up kind of just begging Kenny for like 3 years until he finally gave in.
Yeah. I actually got my start through my mother. She is a singer. She has been on the road with artists like Lauryn Hill and John Legend. So I got pretty much, started young in music. But the local scene, I started when I was 17. I was in a local band one last time. And then I joined another bands and stuff like that. But this one is where I'm at now. I'm very happy about that. But yeah, pretty much just been doing music in this area my whole life. Since 7, technically. Yeah. First gig was at Nailak Park. I was playing drums.
My turn?
Yes, it's your turn, Dad. Father.
Jesus Christ. I started playing guitar when I was about 16. It's like 20, shit. What's that, 24 years ago?
Yeah, you dinosaur.
I know.
That's why your dad.
I was in a bunch of bands between this and back then. Very different than this. This is the first time I've ever been in like anything as far as a hardcore band. Everything else was more like European style, mellow death kind of stuff. So this is a change. It's been fun so far. Haven't killed anybody.
Yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually something I wanted to get into. You know, you guys have been, in different bands, and you have, some former projects, some current projects you're still involved with. Moral Code, The Aegean, in Jerry's case, Terror on the Screen, or Dance Hall Devils, things like that. So could you talk a little bit about those projects and, how you're kind of maybe balancing the two, or how maybe one led into the other or influences the other?
I knew that this was going to come up, and I already had a pre-saved response from hours ago.
Pre-saved.
To be,
I knew you were.
I plead the fifth on any updates on the other band, Moral Code. Yeah, you guys will just have to stay tuned about that.
Okay.
Right now, everything's about no fight, no victory.
Okay.
Yes.
You had to pre-save that.
Yeah.
Rick is mad.
Rick is bad.
Yeah, I mean, the Aegean is still a band. We're not really active right now. We played back in end of October and haven't really done much since. Not really sure what's going on. I mean, we're still technically going, just, I guess, taking some time off for a little bit, see what happens. So I've just kind of been putting all my effort into this for the time being. So I don't have anything else to actively work on right at the moment. So it's been going good.
Now, what made you guys want to kind of do a genre kind of shift with this? Was this just like an itch that you wanted to scratch that you hadn't been able to do yet?
So this band kind of started with Jessie. She was asking me to do a band with her for a while, and I said no a lot. Not that, I didn't have faith, but I didn't. Being honest. Until she showed me that she could, scream, and I was like, whoa, this is actually like pretty good. But the biggest thing was when I started writing music for this, and I came home and showed her music. Within days, she had lyrics, patterns, like actual, like an actual song written on top of what I had, and I was very impressed. I was like, okay, she's catching on fast and knows how to, comprehend music and write lyrics down to it. So I was like, okay, I can work with this for sure. And then pretty much from there, we just kind of assembled the Power Rangers together, and now we're here.
So I caught your guys' first show at the V Spot, and it was a slightly different lineup. You were behind the drums.
Yeah.
So how did that start, and then how did you shift into where you are now?
I told Kenny he's playing guitar.
Yeah, that's how it went. Well, at the time, we had a different lineup, and I had to play the drums because we didn't have another option. Then we were looking for another option, and Jerry kind of put his name in the hat, and immediately I was like, yes. I mean, I've been fangirling over Jerry since I've been 17, so I'm pretty happy.
Gerald.
Yeah, young
Gerald.
young Jay. Yeah, it was really awesome that he
Little
decided
Gerard.
to join and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, they had asked me to join last year.
Yeah, you were one of the first people.
Yeah, and I initially had signed on. I was itching to do something different just because I've done the same stuff musically forever. So I was like, yeah, I want to try something new. And then at the time, I wasn't able to do it just because I had so much going on with work. And I was already going on one work trip, and then there was a possibility of a couple more. And I was like, I can't commit the way that you guys want. So I stepped out. And then it was probably 3 or 4 months later, maybe,
Yeah.
they had asked me, like, oh, can you just help out for the time being until we get somebody else to do it? And I was like, yeah, sure. So then that kind of turned into me sticking around.
And then he fell in love with us.
And then, because I was already
That's how
friends
it
with these guys
starts.
before then, yeah. So they had asked me, and I told Kenny, I was like, yeah, you're gonna play guitar. We're gonna find a drummer. So like my thinking on it was, he's a guitar player. He's writing the song. He's writing the song.
He really wants to say I just was bad at drums. He couldn't.
No, no, it was like Kenny's writing the music. Like he's the one writing the songs. He's writing the music.
You're better at drums than me.
And it's like, I'm like, you're writing this stuff on guitar. I want you playing guitar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Now, at that point, you guys already had an EP. Were you still kind of developing the sound at that point, or have things kind of developed with his addition in the band and kind of moving people around and stuff?
Yeah, everybody's addition definitely changed the sound of it, because when I was obviously just doing it by myself, you got one mind on it. Also, too, even like listening to a lot of the different bands that she even listens to, because I don't listen to the same music that she does, and to accommodate to the recipe that she wanted, because if I was just writing it by myself, we would be sounding like a deathcore band probably, you know what I mean? But she likes a lot of the more like beatdown, like newer metalcore stuff. So I had to learn, start studying what they do, and then be like, okay, I can accommodate and mix in what I want, mix in what they want, and then Dave's addition and stuff like that. And yeah, it's been awesome. Yeah, we all definitely make the sounds now, and it's really sick.
How did you decide on the name?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I actually named our band. So me and Kenny are huge Attack on Titan fans.
they're anime nerds.
And there is an episode of Attack on Titan that there's a character fighting for another character that they're like family, and she's getting attacked, and he's basically telling her, you need to fight for your life. If you don't fight, you're not gonna win. You're gonna die. And basically, like, I kind of just got like No Fight, No Victory from that episode. And once I told Kenny we should name the band No Fight, No Victory, he was like, yes.
Absolutely, instantaneously, yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Weebs.
Yeah. Yeah. Point being, we are weaves.
I'm not a huge anime guy. Obviously, I'm a comic book guy, so they're somewhat adjacent there. So I kind of caught on to that listening to the EP, which we'll get into momentarily. But can you maybe talk about your songwriting process? So is it starting with you? Or
Originally, yes. Now it's more so like the skeleton gets brought forth, and everybody just colors it in now.
Okay.
Also,
and then I put the lyrics over it.
Yeah, yeah. I have little to do with the lyrical content in this band. But yeah, we basically will have like a song template of the basics of what the song should sound like, and then everybody's like, hey, I want it to sound like this here, or hey, like I actually the Godhand I wrote that with Rick at his house actually, and Rick even was giving me pointers on like what I should do here, what I should do there. So, you know, everybody has been, you know, putting their everyone's been putting their like hand in and stuff like that. But mainly, you know, there'll be like an actual song, you know, basic, and then we'll make it all nice, pretty, bells and whistles.
Now, when I think hardcore or metal, you think of the riff or the breakdown. Where do those come from? Where's the inspiration for those?
Just really honestly, this local area, the Nanticoke hardcore scene, listening to bands like freaking Not Till Death, listening to bands like Strength for a Reason, Mother of Mercy, and even like bands like Stick Together, even though we don't really sound like them, you know, musically, that just their mentality and stuff like that. Those are the bands that really grew me up. Bad Seed for sure. So definitely the Nanticoke like area hardcore scene definitely helps me, you know, have a good type of base on what we should sound like, trying to accomplish what our sound is. And then of course, you know, the metal side would be what everybody listens to, you know, For the Fallen Dreams, After the Burial, yada yada, Texas July, the whole 9 yards. But that's my influences. Jesse and Dave have their own, and Rick.
Oh, are you asking
Yeah.
me for my influence?
Yeah, what's yours?
If you'd like to elaborate.
Yeah.
Definitely I Am, which I am wearing their hoodie. They're definitely a huge influence on me, but the biggest influence is the Devil Wears Prada. I grew up listening to them. I've been listening to them since I was 13 years old. That's kind of where I wanted, like, inspiration to come from when I asked Kenny to make the band. I said the Devil Wears Prada and Last 10 Seconds of Life, which the Last 10 is also a local band. But they're pretty big influences. Spite is a big influence for me too. You know, bands like that, Get the Shot. But definitely the Devil Wears Prada is kind of where I get like my inspiration for like how they write their lyrics. Like they're very lyrical. All of their songs tell a story, and like they're not repetitive or anything like that. So I definitely respect them a lot on how they write their lyrics and stuff.
I like a little note before, I don't know shit about anything in music, but like I just listen a lot to people like Kool Khan, going to the industrial side like Orgasm UK, and this has been a learning process. I have no background in music theory, no background in playing guitar, going from pretty much nothing to being with a band who's willing to teach me and kind of learn along in the process. So it's just kind of growing up in this every day, just progressing.
Yeah, I mean,
Megadeth.
no, absolutely not. Dave Mustaine's voice is awful. Awful. Absolutely not. Sorry.
Crowbar?
Dave was
We're getting into the hot takes already.
Candlemass. No, Candlemass is actually what got you
Get
here.
the fuck out of here.
got a big Trapped fan over there.
Yeah, fuck Trap too. No, I mean, like I grew up when like the New England metalcore scene was like that. You know, All That Remains, Killswitch Engage is my favorite band.
Okay.
They're always gonna be. Like Shadows Fall, bands like that. For me, it's like a lot of the European bands, the European metal death bands. Soilwork, In Flames, like Children of Bodom. Like that was the stuff I've listened to and played forever. So this is like really new for me. I've listened to hardcore forever. I've listened to like hardcore and beatdown and heavy stuff forever, but I've never played it. So this is really new for me as well. So it's like I actually have 2 songs in the works right now I'm working on, and it's a learning process for me because it's definitely slightly different than what we have already because I'm not Kenny. So I'm like trying to keep that core sound of what we have, but it's definitely going to be very riffy. It's going to have a lot of that kind of like alternate picking with like the pedal notes and stuff in it that a lot of those bands do, you know, like a lot of the thrash riffs and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I grew up listening to stuff like Madball and like Terror and hardcore like that, you know what I mean? So like this was a little bit different for me. So But it's like I also, like Salt Wound, Acacia Strain, like that kind of heavy stuff is what I generally listen to. So that's kind of where a lot of my songwriting has come from in terms of the heavy stuff and like the breakdowns and stuff like that.
So is it fun to look at it from this other perspective?
Yeah, because it's new and it's something that I'm not used to. So it's like branching out a little bit, and I'm enjoying it very much so.
So you guys got together in 2023. The first show was early 2024. You put the EP out in April of last year. How did the EP come together? Pretty quickly.
Originally, it was actually just kind of me and Jesse because we didn't have anybody yet. This was like very random. Actually, I was very knee deep into Moral Code at the time, my alternate indie band, and when this was presented to me, immediately it was like, oh, this will be a fun side project. Yeah, I'm just gonna spit out some songs and just have fun. There was no serious intent behind it. I definitely did not see what is happening right now coming. I genuinely didn't. I was just, let's just write some songs and have some fun. So I just literally went in my basement and recorded some garage band metal tracks. I sent it to my boy Eric Chezik. He is a genius. I didn't even have tempos plotted out. I was completely open, timing, and he was able to, pretty much turn my garage band files into the EP that's on Spotify right now. So yeah, that's how that EP happened. It was just kind of like really just fun, and then the songs after that, that's when we got everybody now into a studio, Encore Studios. We love them, shout out to them. They've been our main practice spot, and then now we do all of our pre-pro there. Still send it over to Eric Chezik, and then he finishes it up.
All right, well, let's get into the actual EP itself. We do a little segment on here called The Breakdown, and appropriate in this case. We go track by track on an artist's latest release to hear the inspiration and stories behind each song. So this can be about the lyrics, the composition, the recording, all of it, whatever you want to share that you think is maybe the most interesting aspect of each song.
Go ahead, Jesse.
Yeah, you got the floor
this is
now.
all you.
Yeah, this is all you.
Your debut EP, Plot Armor, was released last April, available now on all major streaming platforms. So let's get into it. First up is Give Up on Your Dreams and Die, which is definitely an Attack on Titan quote at the beginning there. So that's just more kind of an intro track than anything.
Yeah, that was definitely just meant to be an intro. I thought the song kind of sounded like we were marching into battle. And one of the characters yells or tells the captain to give up on his dreams and march to his death. So that's why we named the song that. There's not a huge backstory behind that one.
More weeb stuff.
More weeb stuff.
More weeb stuff.
There's gonna be even more weeb stuff.
Yes.
I was gonna say, so this was like, all right,
There's
I'm gonna
like
look up how to pronounce this one.
There's like 3 songs. Is it Bertolt?
Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna get this right.
Berthold.
Yeah. So that song is named Bertolt because that character betrays all of his friends and stabs them in the back. And that song I wrote basically in inspiration for a lot of the people that I have been friends with. It definitely is about some specific people who will rename unnamed.
Unnamed.
This podcast.
You don't want to name drop?
No, let's
not worth
do
it. No,
that.
we don't want to highlight them. Come on.
But that song is written about some people that really portrayed themselves as someone that I could count on and someone that I could be friends with and really have them in my life, and they kind of just did a 180 and betrayed their people, me and Kenny. So that song kind of has inspiration. That's the inspiration behind it.
What?
All right. So, how about common denominator is the next one.
Ooh, yeah, take the floor on that one.
So common denominator is written about my dad. Him I will name drop.
Oh shit.
So I didn't necessarily grow up in great circumstances, and my dad wasn't always really there. And one of the things that I kind of always said to him a lot growing up is, you're the common denominator, because he would make people around him feel like they were the wrong. And so that's why that song's named that, but it is written about him and kind of, you know, how I felt like breaking free of that. And I do believe that just because someone is your family and your blood doesn't necessarily mean that you should take shit from them. And, you know, at the end of the day, the people that are in my life are more like my family than my own family. And so that song's kind of just about like feeling free, about breaking away from the people that control you and manipulate you.
And so next up we've got Who's the Real Enemy?
Oh, actually, I did.
Kenny did actually write the lyrics to
Behind the
that song.
scenes. Back to the weeb stuff. So
Also another Attack on Titan
yeah, this
reference.
whole EP was Attack on Titan. Again, when you're noticing this was supposed to be fun, right?
Yes.
We're back, you know,
We're now the least intimidating hardcore band ever.
Originally, this EP was not supposed to be what it was. There is a line that one of the captains asks the main character in Attack on Titan, and he asks him, you know, in this point of the series, you're like, don't even know what's going on, because we're finding out different information about different people, yada yada. And he asks him, do you know who the real enemy is? And then he like pauses, he's like, I wouldn't know. I'm pretty sure that's what the quote is. I could be misquoting it, but
Oh no, we
I
could
hope
be
you
an
are
advertisement.
we could be
for
an
Attack on
advertisement.
I
Titan
hope you
right
are
now.
misquoting it, because
If
now
no
and then
one's ever
every
seen it, no,
week
every
on the internet is going to literally just that's it. You're done. Kiss your Facebook profile goodbye.
yeah, that song's just necessarily, you know, kind of. It's just a basic, you know, my friends versus the fake one song. It's a really bro kind of, you know, classic, like my friends over everything, you're fake,
Hell
you
yeah,
know.
brother.
It's
Hell yeah,
again fun. It's supposed to be a real fun song.
Hell yeah, brother.
The fun ended after this EP, I'll tell you that for sure.
Oh, we'll get into those.
Oh yeah,
next.
yeah.
So the last one is Strength Won't Die With You.
So Strength Won't Die With You is also an Attack on Titan reference.
Stop admitting this.
Well, the song title is.
I can't say anything as I sit next to my Iron Man helmet over here. So
But the song has nothing to do with Attack on Titan, actually. So I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia when I was about 22 years old, 23 maybe, and it's kind of just about the daily pain, or living with daily pain, daily just chronic excruciating pain, trying to deal with that, and especially as someone who's like younger, it's really just like sad sometimes. You end up like kind of feeling sorry for yourself, and then there's days where you're just like, no, fuck this, I'm gonna power through it and be fine, and then you end up regretting it. And so that song's kind of just about, you know, how I feel on a daily basis and trying to break free from that as well.
all right. So
Hell yeah, Jesse.
Hell yeah, brother.
Well, yeah, I think that's you know, there's a lot of, you know, raising awareness about this and that sort of thing, but there's not a lot about like all of those kind of more hidden illnesses, you know, those types of things like that. Like I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, and then my doctors have kind of gone back and forth, and they just think, well, no, it's more severe IBS or whatever the case is, but like whatever it is, it's just a constant issue that you just got to deal with all the time. And it's like, it's so hard to like make excuses about it and stuff, and like, this is why I'm constantly late for everything and stuff like that. And people just kind of take it as like, no, that you're leaning on that as a crutch or an excuse
But
or whatever, and it's not. It's like, it's
You can't help it.
right, yeah, it's a legitimate problem that you have to kind of constantly deal with. So I definitely know what you're talking about there for sure.
It sucks.
It's the worst, and the thing is with our shitty ass healthcare system. I mean, it's just everybody's practically dealing with something like that.
Trust me, I know.
Point. And then it's just
My back's been fucked for 10 years.
all it is just suck it up.
Yeah.
It's really the best that you get from
It's
a lot
like,
of people.
some days I can't even get out of bed. And then it's just like, oh, you're just lazy. No, I literally can't feel my legs right now. So like, I
Right.
yeah. So I get it.
Well, we have 2 singles that you guys have released since then, so I think we should talk about those too. Caged in Fear came out last year, so let's talk about that one.
Oh, this is my other secret
Ghost
Writer
Kenny also
song.
wrote the lyrics to that song.
Okay, this is a little less. There's no weave in this, and no weave at all.
Okay.
So this song.
Not even the song title.
No, not even the song title. To be honest, this song was more so written. I tried to write something that if I was Jesse, because I didn't want to take away from.
I didn't have Jesse write the lyrics. I wrote the lyrics, and I'm trying to write it as Jesse.
Mystique. I wanted to be Mystique, and I wanted to, write lyrics as if I was
What are you
Jesse.
talking about?
That's. I'm not kidding. That's literally Cage of Fear's lyrics. All right, if I was Jesse, how would I write about hating the world? So
You're just learning that.
Holy shit.
I feel the third party angst.
Hold on. I got to see what Jerry's saying in the comments right now.
I'm just saying. So it's literally a song about.
Juicy stuff.
It's literally a song about hating the world, and I was like, how would I write this if I were Jesse? So that's basically how I came across those lyrics.
Okay.
Yes.
Jerry, I had no idea the entire EP was written about anime. I quit the band.
Okay, Gerald.
Oh, fuck him forever.
I'm getting to him. Don't worry. He's not off the hook yet. His sponsorship's coming up.
Oh, God.
All right, so your newest single, which was just released a few days ago and has a music video with it, is called The Godhand. So, and you guys seem really excited about this one. So
Yeah.
let's talk about that.
We're gonna have to come back to the weeb now.
Yeah.
That did not last long.
No, it didn't. So the Godhand, the title is basically inspired from Berserk. Before the eclipse scene, basically, and a character meets a demigod called the Godhand, and basically decides a fate. But the song is inspired kind of by what I went through as a kid with the church and being forced into a religion that I did not want anything to do with. And I don't mean just, like regular Catholic stuff. Like, I mean, like, I was forced into, like, what was it?
Benny Hinn type stuff. If anybody knows who Benny Hinn is, that's
They
the
were
type
like
of stuff she
diehard
experienced.
evangelists, like
Evangelicals.
like it was
Hitting them with a
crazy.
blanket type stuff.
Yeah, and I didn't want anything to do with it. I was forced into that for a very long time until I kind of, gave an ultimatum. But I definitely feel like a lot of people use religion as an excuse to be shitty or not be shitty. And it definitely bothers me to my core. I feel like either you're a good person or you're not. You shouldn't use eternal damnation as a crutch to say you're afraid of the consequences, and that's why you're a good person. You should just be a good person.
Right.
So that song was kind of inspired by that. And Kenny is a Christian, but he does agree with me on like kind of the systematic oppression of the church. It's not necessarily the people that I have a problem with. It's the the control that is held over people.
The institution.
Yes.
The institution. Yes.
Absolutely.
Of which there are way too many.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So the video itself too is pretty like. How did you guys pull off the I guess the illusion of being tortured and being tied down and waterboarded and things like that?
I realized that acting is not my strong suit. That's first off. Second, some of the scenes, you
Yeah, I had a little hand in directing. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a hand in directing. He was
Just a little hand.
irritating as fuck about it.
So
This is your beautiful.
So the beautiful
I
part.
thought our band was gonna break up that day.
No,
honestly.
the beautiful part about this band, why I love these guys so much, is that they still have enough respect and love for me to, accommodate and come together on an idea that we could still be radical, still be, get the message really punched across, but, still respected, some of my boundaries. I am a Christian, but I do not go to any church. I am not established with any specific sect. My beliefs are very radical. I would definitely align myself to the Christians that were getting thrown in the Colosseums before the Vatican ever existed, before Catholicism ever
We're getting
existed.
really close to Boggle Pop.
It's not Boggle. I'm just saying,
Jerry is in the comments right now losing his mind. I can feel it.
my beliefs, as far as are very spiritual. I would definitely, a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm spiritual. I'm not religious." I would definitely say that too. But this video in particular, even like the characters, like the nuns, the priest, the robe, monk guy, and even like the cross that we were destroying. All of those characters and things, those are not in any way, shape, or form. What is it? The original scriptures, like they have none of those characters exist. So I did not mind, putting those on display and making a mockery of them, because that's not what I align with at all.
And the crosses we use were silent home crosses.
So
I did.
Yeah, there was original ideas that I was not okay with. I'll just be honest. My mom, and for my family. You wanted to be.
I wanted to be steampunk Jesus.
Yeah, you wanted to be steampunk Jesus.
I want a crown.
I also wanted to eat a hoagie.
Yeah.
I wanted to be steampunk Jesus. I wasn't allowed to.
And they wanted sexually promiscuous nuns. I said no.
I didn't want sexually.
I said they, not you.
I wanted to be a nun. No.
This is why we can't have anything nice.
And I asked for them to be just scary, because I wanted the message to get across. I didn't want any low-hanging fruit. I just wanted people to understand we are against the institution. We're against the systematic oppression of religion. I'm definitely against that. The way that even, Jesus Christ had a lot of friends that people deemed as bad people, like tax collectors, prostitutes, all that. Like back then he was getting, reamed a new one for even being friends with people like that. So that's like what I represent. I don't represent people who are right now, out in this world just absolutely like whiplashing people for their lifestyles, whiplashing people for the way they look and stuff like that. It's not good. Not good. What are you guys all bugging out about?
Whiplash.
But yeah, that's really what it was. We just wanted to, create like a vision and a song that just encompassed everything that we were trying to get across. And I feel like we did that. So,
I want to personally shout out Corey, who did the video.
Yes.
He's actually my vocalist in the Aegean.
He did an incredible job.
I went to him, I told him, I was like, listen, the acting scenes, we want to do kind of like campy, old school horror, and I feel like he nailed it. Like he just did a really good job.
I want to shout out to Ken and Union Vapors.
Yes.
Totally. They helped out so much with the whole process that day.
Yeah.
They were gracious enough to let us come in and set things up. We filmed at the business area right next to them. But they were super chill about having us come in and whatever we needed, man.
Yeah, so if you need vape stuff, go to Union Vapors.
Kenny at Union Vapors is actually my brother, and he ended up being the one to find the spot that we even did the video at. We would have not had that place if he had not done that for us. So, and he built all the crosses as well.
Yeah, like Rick said too, they're doing local shows up there. All ages local shows up there now too.
Yeah, we just did a podcast about that about a month or so.
I watched the whole thing.
Make sure you guys check that out if you haven't yet.
Yeah, if anybody needs video work done or whatever, Corey's trying to build like some clientele and do that stuff, but he does a great job. He did all the videos that we had for the Aegean too, and they came out great.
Okay.
So, it's Corey Lombardo, great dude, good friend. He does really good work, and like he'll work with people on price. He's trying to build a portfolio. So,
nice. All right, so is this with these single releases? Are you building up to an EP or a full length? Or
it's a good question. We were just
yeah. So basically, what me and Kenny had kind of talked about in passing, didn't really get nuts about it because it was just a conversation we were just having, and I think what we're gonna do is probably maybe do another 1 or 2 singles or so, and then start working on stuff for an actual EP. He had said like I think 4 songs, and I was like, fuck that. If we're gonna go in and pay to record, let's do like 5 or 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think what were we saying towards the end of the summer? Try to start recording, to do like a little bit longer EP. Probably by the end of the summer, we'll start doing that and working on that. Want to get maybe a few more singles out, another couple videos or something, and then start hammering down on that.
All right, so a lot of great metal and hardcore bands have come out of this area. So could you tell us about the metal and hardcore scene around here from your perspective? Maybe who some of your favorite bands are, or your experiences there. I'm sure you have a lot to say about that.
Yeah, I definitely got to give a big shout out to Chris Motionless and Motionless and White. Seeing him, I met him when I was 17 years old at Eleanor Rigby's, and for him to be where he's at now, and the work that he's put in, and the people that he's gotten to corral to like follow his statement. Because when I was in high school, people were they were the laughing stock in my high school. Like you hear most white people like, oh, you get made fun of listening for them, and now look at them, they're with Rhea Ripley and WWE, living their best life, doing their thing.
You just had to mention Rhea Ripley, didn't you?
Yeah, I remember them. I remember them when they were a pop punk band. My old band was playing shows with them at the Staircase.
Yeah,
like, it's crazy.
It's when I had him on the podcast, it's probably about 2 years ago now at this point. They were just doing they were building up to the montage show, which was kind of like a big, and then they did the arena shows last year, which was crazy to see that. But that's one of the things that we touched on that I don't think enough people around here seem to remember about them is that, a lot of like when I interviewed him right before that Eleanor Rigby show, actually, probably that week before. And he had kind of, I was saying, so, you guys have kind of maybe built up a following or whatever. I was just kind of learning about them at that point. And he was like, yeah, kind of, not really. He's like, we seem to have more fans outside of the area than we do inside the area.
That was definitely true. Because I met them when I was probably 14. I was even younger. But I also grew up in the Eleanor Rigby scene. And, like, I remember seeing them play at the Pittston High School. And no one was there. But, I mean, kind of just to say what Kenny said, the fact that they're where they are now is honestly insane, and they're all pretty great guys too. They're all really nice, so they're all very humble.
They've really maintained being friendly and humble and very cool and not bitter about that either. They don't seem like they've kind of they're not like mad about it or whatever. But it is funny now to see it. Because now I think you have a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, well I was a fan the whole time. Now
when they definitely weren't. They were the ones picking on us for being fans.
Right. They have these big homecoming shows, and it's like, where were all you people how many years ago when these guys had started out and they were, trying to build that fan base?
What's crazy is I do feel like there were two different sects when it came to the Eleanor Rigby scene. Like, Kenny grew up in, like, the hardcore version of Eleanor Rigby scene, and I grew up in the metalcore version of the scene. And we never really, like, intersected paths.
Yeah.
But, like, we knew who each other were. Like, I was, like, listening to Asking Alexandria and Motionless and White and, all those bands, and he was, like,
in Hell Followed with American Man.
Yeah, and he was on that aspect of things, so.
That's funny. I was so ignorant to that stuff early on until I became a reporter. Before that, I was always into these bands, but I would drive out of the area all the time, especially like Croc Rock and stuff like that when that was still around, because you could see national touring bands for under $20. Like, it was always a good time to do that. And I kept driving down there all the time, and it never occurred to me, I'm like, there's got to be bands like from here, right? Like, there's and I started kind of discovering them a little bit, but it was when I really became a reporter and started it became my beat to go to these shows and to interview these bands and stuff like that, to really appreciate like how much great talent comes out of here. And I feel like there's just not enough awareness about that to this day. So it's, stuff like this is, I think, so important to keep doing, to just raise awareness about that kind of stuff.
What's crazy, too, is, like, there were so many touring acts that came out of Rigby's, too. Like, I remember seeing We Came as Romans at that tiny little venue when I was, like, 15 years old. Now there's not a lot of places like that anymore. Like, all those places closed, and it's sad because we all grew up going to those places.
I grew up like Metro.
Yeah, I was just going to say Cafe Metro
backstage.
Was one of my
I remember
favorites.
seeing like the Acacia Strain at at Metro.
Yeah.
Mastodon.
Right.
Fucking Trivium. Like Trivium on that tiny ass stage at Metro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, then you didn't, all that remains. And it's like, now they're playing fucking stadiums and shit. You know, it's like, what? It's crazy.
And you know, it sucks too, because like as a fan who had seen them in that time,
Yeah.
it really, like, you want to be happy that they're succeeding and they're
Yeah.
playing these bigger shows and stuff, and at the same time it's like it's not the same to see them in an arena or a
Yeah.
stadium or whatever. Like,
It's so much more personal.
yes, exactly. Like, it really takes away.
Well, it's just a
from
bummer
that.
for me that like we had like the venues that we had have closed. Like, I mean,
Right.
you know, it's a fact
really
of life.
sad.
Things don't last forever, but like it sucks. It's like Metro was, you know, that's when I was like getting into music. You know, it's like that was like only a couple years after I had started even playing guitar. I was at Metro 4 nights a week. They had shows like
Right.
multiple days throughout the week. You know, same thing with like the Zoo. Like the Zoo was short lived, but it was awesome. You know, like it was a big enough venue. They had some big bands come through there, and you know, then they ended up shutting down. They sold the complex, and like I remember being at Posse Fest there, and it, like that was wild.
No.
And it's like, yes, it's like I kind of feel like, you know, it sucks because you were talking earlier about like the scene around here and stuff like that. It's like I don't know if it's just me because I'm older and like I kind of fell out for a little bit before I started really playing out again. But it just seemed like stuff around here really died and the band's kind of dissipated a little bit. Like it's much better now. Like there's tons of great bands, but it just seemed like for a little bit, maybe it was just because they weren't playing around here because there was nowhere to fucking play.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or maybe I just missed them, but it just seemed like it was dead around here for a while. You know.
Where is it now? Like, where do you guys go to see shows now?
I mean, honestly,
Harrisburg.
like, well, to go to actual shows, Harrisburg. There was that. What was that place in Oliphant that we played?
The Keystone, but they're gone.
Yeah, the Keystone Wall. The Keystone's gone. I mean, there was I think people stopped going there because there was some kind of controversy shit that was
No,
going
the
on.
roof collapsed.
I'm talking about before that.
Oh.
The roof collapsed, so nobody goes there now. I'm talking about, you know, I'm talking about.
Like, yeah, what the fuck?
I'm talking about before when people were like, I'm not going there anymore. Like there's something was going on, you know. So it was like that was another venue that ended up going to shit. Fucking, you know, it's great that like again now that Ken is doing shows up at Union because like that's what we need in this area. Like yeah, it's like we're older. We play like the V Spot is hands down the greatest place in the area to see live music because Vinny is a massive metalhead. So he does cater to heavy bands and like metal bands and stuff. He doesn't do it every weekend because he's a business owner and needs to make money, and we all get that.
And he is open. He's
Yeah.
welcomed us with open
Yeah,
arms.
but like that's
on the
but,
same aspect, not every band could just go and play there. Like,
Yeah.
and to have a place like Ken's at Union where they could take a chance on somebody.
Yeah.
They could have that weird alt band from Maryland come and just say, hey, we have an open venue, just come play tonight.
Yeah.
And I think getting that diversity really helps out instead of having the same 5 cover bands that play the same top 40 songs in different venues. You know, you have the same couple metal bands that usually headline a night at the V Spot, which, okay, cool. Like, Vinny has to make money. He does. At the end of the day, all these venues have to make money.
100%.
But Ken's venue, and this is what I've told him left, right, center, is you're the first stepping stone now. Like, you're opening the doors to a lot of people.
I
in the
said
area.
the same thing when I talked
Yeah.
to him. I was just like, you have the ability to make something so cool that has not been in this area for a really long time. Like, you're a good person. You're not gonna fuck people over. You're not gonna fuck the bands over. Like, it's like a family here,
Yeah.
and you can hang out. Like, people know they can trust you. Like, you have the ability to literally create something amazing.
I will say though, the one thing that I do really appreciate about Vinny, and this is like knowing him for as long as I have, is that he is running a bar, but at the same time he does those weekend nights where he has metal, where he has bands like Estacota come in and they do a 4-band bill and they have that kind of stuff.
Big variety.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
A lot of bars don't do that. A lot of bars they cater to the specific, cover band stuff, which is fine. Like, that's what they're there for. That's what they're trying to appeal to, and that's great. But he really does, like, that's why I'm glad that, like, in spite of everything else, he's still there running it, because a lot of original acts have gotten a chance to play there, and he does a good job of helping people out.
Yeah, he does.
Kenny not opening the vape shop, but having shows now at the vape shop, that's great. And it's like we need more places like that around here in both aspects. We need more bars and stuff that are willing to cater to that older crowd and also cater to more original music. And we need more all ages venues, because we just don't. Like, Wilkes-Barre has nothing. Wilkes-Barre sucks. Like, I can't even.
If Wilkes-Barre sucks, I'm from like Forest City, Carbondale.
Well, but I'm talking about.
I get like country and the classic rock.
But I'm talking about as an area that used to have 4 solid all ages venue, between home base, between Metro, between backstage, and between the zoo. At one point, like, there was not concurrently, but like throughout a span of time, there was 4 big solid all ages venue. Now there's nothing. Bart Irby's was another one. Now I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head where to go in Wilkes-Barre to even see a band outside of just like a duo, or minus the casino.
The Jazz Cafe is probably the only.
Well, I mean, but the Jazz Cafe is more of an actual venue, like that.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like they do, like, yeah, they have they have bands in there, but I'm talking about like the Jazz Cafe for me personally is not the place I'm going to go sit down and have a beer. You know what I mean? So.
Are people still renting out like halls and stuff like that? Or are they still doing that?
Not really around here.
Not around. It does happen, yeah. Not so much around here.
Yeah, fire halls were like a big thing back in the day.
Yeah.
I see that
Especially for
happening more
hardcore,
in like the Harrisburg, Lancaster area. Honestly, like York, all that they do a lot of like they rent a lot of halls in that area to do shows.
Okay.
And Allentown too. You're
Made a noise.
But I've been up since 5:30 in the morning. I'm barely hanging out right now.
Well, hopefully too, when people like Vinny book these types of shows and they are successful. Like, I was at the Estacota show last week and it was packed.
Yeah.
And it was more. Yeah, I know. Vinny has had these discussions. He tells me all the time like what's going on there, and what shows do well for him and stuff like that. And seeing stuff like that encourages him to do more stuff like that.
100%.
Which then encourages other venues to maybe give that a shot too.
True.
So I think all of these places are all kind of sharing the same groups of bands overall, especially like in the cover scene.
You're right.
Things like
I kind of feel like, because like that bar and company up in Oliphant, I think is doing more along the lines of, different stuff as well.
Right.
I don't see a lot of what's that?
They're trying.
Yeah, like I don't see a lot. I don't get up that way, so I don't really see a lot of what goes on up there. But it's like I've heard like some shows and stuff that were happening there that weren't just your typical cover band stuff.
So one of the things I also wanted to ask about is obviously the metal scene, the music scene in general, pretty male dominated. So Jesse, do you feel like you're treated any differently, or are you welcomed in that space? What has your experience been like overall, would you say?
So obviously my band has welcomed me. They're my closest friends, honestly, and I feel like they don't treat me any differently than they treat their guy friends. I think that they don't look at me like that. They look at me as a homie. But I kind of purposefully don't like wear certain things. I kind of dress like a little bit like more baggy and stuff like that because I kind of shut up, dude.
No, I'm laughing at Jerry in the comments.
There are a lot of female fronted bands out there that I feel like use their sexuality and kind of use the fact that they're a female to kind of like make the band bigger, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that at all. They can do whatever the fuck they want, but as our band, I want us to succeed because we're good and our music is good and people like us. I don't want them to see us and be like, oh, there's a girl in the band and she's hot, whatever, I'm gonna listen to their music. Like, I don't want that, you know? I want people to listen to our music and feel the lyrics and feel, you know, the way we feel behind it and have no other reason behind it besides it being just pure intentions that they love our music.
They definitely don't come for our looks.
What are you talking about, Rick?
Fuck off, Rick. Holy
You
shit.
fucking, what, you like 6'2", 6'3"?
Okay, short stuff.
I'm saying, like, go fuck yourself, dickhead. I'm saying if they're coming for anybody else in the band, it's you, pal. So,
Nice.
you fucking
By the way,
lumberjack.
this is us composed.
Yes.
This is like
We're
dialed
trying.
down to 5%.
I'm surprised, honestly.
Jared,
If Jared was here, this would not be
I have a sponsorship
happening.
to announce.
Okay.
Oh, this is.
So, if you are a flat earther out there, okay, we have a website called Jerry Bruno loves all of you flatearthers.com, and he has all the most credible information that you can find on flat earth known to man. Just hit him up on
His
Jerry
fingers just lit on
Bruno
fucking
loves
fire.
flatearthers.com.
there's a vein popping out of
What
his
if
forehead
that's a
right now.
real website?
Just so you know, all the credible information.
Now we have to buy the domain.
NASA satellite imagery? What's that?
Holy shit,
What's
what
that?
if that's a real domain though, Kenny?
I guess we're gonna get, you know, that's Jerry's domain. That's what it is. He loves all of you. I just want you to know, he loves all of you. A lot.
I wish somebody would tag Chris Taylor Brown in the fucking
Somebody start tagging.
some tagging him. He'll immediately block it 100%. He blocks me on every account he makes. Everyone.
Every donk.
Dude, every time they come up with a new page, someone tags me in it and I troll the fuck out of him and I get blocked. I lasted 20 seconds on TikTok before he blocked me on their TikTok live.
I love how many people know you as Donk more than they do actual name.
Dude, when my name was Bjorn on there, I had people meet me in real life and they were like upset that wasn't my real name. And I'm like,
People came up to me.
And I'm like,
no.
Okay.
People
But
came up to me and they were like, "What is his real name?" I'm like, "Dave," and they're like, "No, it's fucking."
Yeah, that Bjorn guy.
well, but that's also another thing. And they're like, they're like, "Oh, what's your name?" I'm like, "Dave." They're like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Sorry, like,
Sorry to
it's
fucking
boring, I
disappoint.
guess." Yeah, people were like legitimately upset when they found out my name wasn't Bjorn fucking Hammerstein. I'm like, no, it's a Facebook moniker, dude. And they're like, oh, like, so, like me and my ex went to get a Christmas tree the one year, and like the guy, he was like, oh, I never knew anybody named Bjorn before, and I'm like, you realize that's not my real name.
Well, you still don't know
And
anybody
he was
named
like,
Bjorn.
he was like visibly like bummed out. I'm like, all right, man, like I'm sorry.
So many people think my last name is Mar as well, including Ray Mione, who has known me for like 10 years and knows what my last name is. Literally referred to me as Jesse Mar, and I was
Raymond.
like, Ray,
Raymond.
what you know my real last name, bro?
Raymond's
He is in the comments.
He's in the
We'll-
comments.
Of course he's in the comments.
We'll get
Shout out Diablo Booking.
We'll
I'll be
get
in
to
there.
those.
Diablo
in just a
booking.
Fuck you, Ray.
Tell him Crowbar sucks. He's seething right now.
The world's smallest gatekeeper.
Oh my god, that's true.
Candlemass might be one of the worst things my ears have ever,
That's true story.
like ever.
That was
No, you know what?
Like
that was the best. That was the best when me and Jim were at the V spot and Ray shows up and we're like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Oh, Kenny kicked me out of the house." And I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Because I made him listen to Candlemass." And I'm like, I was like, "Wow."
Yeah, but on a positive, I can't call him the world's smallest because he is lifting weights now. If you
Yes.
follow his Instagram, I'm not plugging.
Go to
it.
Peppers. Peppers Athletics Club. Shout out.
Yeah, but he's taking the initiative to help his mental health and everything else. So good for him.
Amen.
I want him to get so big that he can. That I want to see like a 4 foot tall person just flip a car over.
I want to see him throw a refrigerator in a mosh pit.
Yeah,
How fucking hard
that's
would
what I
that
want
be?
to see.
So instead of just like kicking one kid, he can kick like a whole
He
kindergarten
can just,
class.
take out the whole mosh pit.
Whole
Yo,
gang
he
of kids.
already kicks for a guy his size. He already kicks hard as fuck.
Right.
He kicked me at Lovedrafts and I almost threw up.
Speaking of
He
Lovedraft,
flat-footed me
Yes.
right in the gut so hard I almost puked. And I can't imagine when he's ready to kick a hole through like a concrete wall because he's just leg pressing like fucking 2 tons. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait. Somebody's femur's getting fucking destroyed. It's gone.
Speaking of Lovedrafts,
Yes.
just want to shout out Lovedrafts,
Fine,
honestly. It's a podcast about our band, bro.
I want to talk about Ray Mione.
Enough Ramione.
Sorry, we're trying to have fun.
We were welcomed with open arms into the Harrisburg scene, and I just want to shout out to everybody who actually like made that happen, because we were a random fucking band from Scranton, Pennsylvania, and they were just like, yeah, we love you, come play at our venues.
The fact we
And-
got that Walls of
Yeah.
Jericho show was insane.
Yeah, like the promoter there, his name's Nick. He's really great. He's basically booked a bunch of shows with newer like hardcore metalcore bands and kind of just like been the light to like push bands to be able to play with bigger bands. So honestly, the Harrisburg scene has really been very kind to us.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that show in particular, the Walls of Jericho show. What was that experience like?
I was really nervous because I had never played at Lovedrafts before, let alone playing with a band as big as Walls of Jericho, and definitely nerve-wracking when the vocalist was watching us. But yeah, I mean, I think we did pretty great. It was a crazy opportunity, honestly, and again, Nick Myers, who booked that, thank you to him if he's watching this. Honestly, such a crazy opportunity. We'd only been a band for what, like 10 months.
And she was a fan too, openly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was saying,
Yeah, that was
Awesome.
that
that feedback.
Well,
Yeah,
and I
I'd like to
mean,
get the
on that
feedback.
aspect too, like another big name band. I know it's a little bit older now. We're talking about Green Jelly when we
Yeah.
played that show.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We
They got
had
some
one of
huge
their
shout
guys say us right their set, and that's insane to me that somebody in that caliber, even as obscure as Green Jelly,
Sure.
would say somebody like us and like talk to us. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're super nice guys. I remember playing the Spider-Man Maximum Carnage video game that they did the music for, and that's how I knew Green Jelly for many years until I've rediscovered them years later as this crazy puppet punk band thing that they have going on. But so, is there? The band has been together for just over a year now in terms of publicly playing out and everything. So what were some of the highlights of that first year of the band for each of you?
The shows. Yeah, we played a lot of good shows, and even in my
Really
previous local bands, there was definitely shows I would have, every show's good, but some of the shows are like, that was kind of sad. Not one time did I feel that way. Every single time we stepped on stage, every single time we were in the venue, it felt like, people were interested, people enjoyed it, they moved, and if they didn't, mosh, they were very attentive, they gave us good feedback after the set. We've sold a decent amount of merch. Yeah, the response from the fans has been really awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, like Lovedrafts, playing with Ghost Ship and with Walls of Jericho was big for me. Like Ghost Ship, that was like the first time I'd moved in front of a band in like 20 years.
Oh, if you got that 5-second clip of all of us going, that was insane.
I have
I
a
died,
5-second
then-
clip of Kenny or Jerry, one of you,
I died
like
the next
right
day.
into the mosh pit by his ankles.
I think it was Jerry. I think it was Jerry.
But even what was that show, the Sportsman's Cafe, that we played in Allentown? Like, that was wild. It was.
Oh, with Vexatious.
Yeah,
and
it was like it was
Secret.
real tight and like tight on stage and everything. But like, everybody there went nuts. Had an it was fucking crazy. Like that was playing like it was wild playing such a small place, with just having like those people in that small room just beating the shit out of each other.
I'll take it a different aspect. I'll take in how much support we've gotten locally, even for different venues and stuff. Like our friends and our families and Vinny and Ray. Ray, he's been coming to all of our shows, but like
Every single one.
the amount of like
He's literally our
shares
one-man
and
dance team.
stuff, it's insane. And like I can't shout out the bartenders at the V Spot enough. They've been super good with us. They've been sharing all of our stuff. The amount of love I feel by everybody in the area.
Rick is being so nice, and then you're just.
I was being mean all fucking podcast, and I'm gonna switch back.
And now you're making a mess.
You fucking
Oh
piece
my
of shit.
god, how do you even do that?
You saw the
Gavin's
water
teeth.
jump out of the bottle on me.
Oh, okay.
You did see that, though.
Yeah.
You watched it.
Yeah.
For me, honestly, I think it's the.
Use your
You
words.
just, like, that was a delayed reaction. You should have kept going. He said that like 5 seconds after you were still talking.
For me, it's honestly the other bands. I said that our second show. So, our second show, we played with a band from Maryland called Zelenda, and they were like super excited to see us. And honestly, that made me feel really good. That another band that was like obviously way more
Established.
I would say.
established, that's the word. You know, they were like openly saying, we've been waiting to see you guys play all week, and I was like, what? How do you know who the fuck we are? Like, you know,
How
but
did you even find our Spotify page?
yeah, but like, you know, for me, it's the bands that have kind of just made us feel at home. And like, you know, when we played in Harrisburg, a lot of those bands have also made us feel that way. So, you know, I think for me, that's that. It's not one specific show. It's kind of like the community that they're pulling us into.
And do I remember correctly? You guys were recognized at the Steamtown Music Awards, I think, too,
Yeah.
right?
We won, actually.
Yeah, that's
we
what I
took
thought.
Best new metal.
That's what I
Best
thought.
metal
new
band,
metal.
or
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
or
Best new metal act or best metal act, one of those.
It was the best
One of the two.
metal.
metal act of the year. Whatever
Yeah.
it was.
S- In
Something
such
like
a
that.
short time, that's an accomplishment.
What?
Yeah,
You grabbed the award.
I know. But like,
We were all outside. We didn't think we were gonna
We were
win.
doing the interview with
And
you.
my and my brother,
When we got called.
yeah, my brother comes outside. He's like, "You guys fucking won!" And we were like, "What? No,
We just got done with the interview.
Yeah, those interviews never stopped. It was one big blur to me.
Oh, I can only imagine.
That line was insane.
It was, and we got to every person.
Hell yeah.
Did the entire thing. So I'm expecting this year to be even longer. I'll just keep starting earlier and earlier, I guess. The open mic has been the same way.
Vinny's gonna have to start booking a whole weekend for this.
Right? Seriously. Like
I actually think he should.
yeah.
Genuinely, I think it should be like 2 days.
for what? For wait, what?
Are you okay? For the Steamtown Music Awards.
Well, it's they do the awards part Thursday, but then they do all the bands and everything on.
No, I think the award should be separated
Oh.
into 2 days, is what I'm saying.
All right. So should we get into these comments?
Oh.
Yeah.
It's Jerry Bruno.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I need to know what Jerry said about his
Bruno.
sponsorship website that I sent all his best friends to.
Yeah. Yeah.
my
Let's
God.
see. Let me.
Jerry's
I mean,
gonna
there's
get us
lots of
canceled in the chat.
There's so many Jerry comments.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, there's.
All right. Well, I'll start with Summer's comment here. She says, "Live, laugh, love, share, comment." Yes, please, please do that because the algorithm likes that and it shows it to more people, and it's been really good about that lately. So let's keep getting that out there to more and more people.
I can't keep saying the same boring thing all week.
Right, yeah, like, share, comment. Yeah, it gets old after a while.
What
Let's
dumb
see.
shit is Jerry saying? Let's see.
Ray says, Kenny and David are my dads. Lots of
Fair.
dads here.
They're his dads, and then Dave is also Kenny's dad.
Yes.
And he's
100%.
also all of our dads.
Yes.
And I'm also the band mom.
Strange
so,
kids.
Okay.
we're all somehow related.
It's a weird wreath.
Yeah.
A weird family tree with lots of branches in all
Half
different
dead.
ways. Let's see. Yeah, Jerry's my first name. Well, all this.
I'm gonna be
dad
showing up to that
stuff.
show like, oh hey guys,
He also
I'm
put
ready to
that
play
on
now.
Instagram too. He's like, oh, my dad.
Listen,
no idea.
if anybody's watching this that's coming to our show on Friday, right? I need two chants. I need
That's
you to
okay.
look at Kenny in the face and just scream weeb at him, right?
Yeah, we kinda-
And I need you to say, fuck Jerry Bruno. That's
Jerry Bruno.
That's what I need.
Fuck
If you do
Jerry
anything for me in my
Bruno.
life, those two things.
Let's see.
Fuck Jerry Bruno chat.
Jerry says this porno sucks.
Damn. Holy shit.
He didn't say nothing about a sponsorship.
And
surprisingly,
this is Ray says this is the wrong hentai I downloaded.
Well, Jerry said no, I quit. I think that's probably in reference to you talking about. I don't know.
I'd say that's probably. Let's see. He says you all need to be institutionalized.
Which one's
Jerry
that?
said that.
Yeah, well,
It's it's like 90% of the comments is just Jerry in there talking shit. He couldn't come to the fucking podcast and be on the be interviewed.
wanted to be
but
at
he
home.
can sit home
Yeah,
and he can
that's
sit
his,
home
like,
and shit his brains out on the toilet and be talking shit.
that's
in
his
the comments.
lifeblood. He lives to troll people on the internet. Like that's like a part of his personality trait.
He keeps referring to Boggle. Pop that Boggle.
That's Kenny.
word salad.
So in the group chat, or just in general, when Kenny starts going off on one of his fucking tirades, that's what we call it, is boggle popping.
I make a lot of references and
Especially when he's drunk.
metaphors that a lot of people are not privy to, unless you're Jesse, because then
Well, it's because most of the time you're not even speaking real
It's
English.
because
So.
99% of the time you're talking about anime and they
Yes.
have no idea what
No.
you're talking
Or he's drunk and he's literally just stringing words together, and it's like, and that's where it came from, boggle popping. You're just popping the boggle from the game, and
I'll never forget one time Kenny was really drunk and looks at me and goes, Jesse, you're not like a woman. You know how to use a screwdriver. And I was like, what? He's like, you know how to use tools and stuff.
I don't.
we know.
you don't. Yeah, that's right. You don't.
No, I know how to use a guitar.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. And I have to fucking fix it.
You have a fellow weeb in the comments. Maury B says Berserk is goated.
Shut
Absolutely, absolutely.
Berserk is goated.
Goated.
Let's see. Ray says I only go to see you guys because Kenny plays Hearthstone in every show. There we go. There's Jerry saying that he quits.
I wonder how many messages he's gotten from Flat Earthers since we put up the sponsorship.
Probably none, because that's not a real website.
What, Jerry Bruno loves flatearthers.com?
It's not a real website.
It's definitely not a real website.
We have to buy
Kind
the.
of like Rick's
We
life
have to
on a
buy the
horse.
domain now and put it on our shirts.
No.
The firmament.
Jerry says a major award. Yes, that's. You should give out little lake lamps or something. You always they always change the shape of the awards every year, but they haven't done leg lamp yet. So
They should do leg lamp.
Jerry says to ask Kenny about the Trail of Tears. Apparently, he really wants you to go off on something.
Yeah, but he's just
Not
picking.
I'm going to.
He's just picking. He's just picking random stuff to throw. At
I'm
Kenny right
going
now.
to not. I'm not entertaining any of that. I have the high ground here. He's not here. I'm
Right.
here. So
If
he's,
you guys have
he's just
any-
mad I sponsored his website.
There are certain things we shouldn't talk about on live television.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably
Kenny and Jerry going back and forth is insane, and it's unhinged, and we're not.
He's
Yeah,
a
we're not
brilliant
doing
man with a lot of amazing thoughts and ideas.
Oh my god.
that will remain hidden.
I mean, you can look on his Facebook profile. He's
It's
not
like watching a
bashful.
cat and
He's
a
not
fucking
bashful at all.
dog just go at each other. It's like,
He wants the world to read because he believes that he can't read. So
what the fuck are you talking about?
Jerry believes the world can't read, and
No, he doesn't.
He wants the world to be able to read because no one knows how to read.
No, he
Besides
doesn't.
him, he's the only one that knows how to read.
What the fuck are you going on about? This is what I'm talking about. This is what we do. And you're sitting there scratching your head going, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's not even drunk. That's the best part. If he was drunk, it'd be so bad. So bad. Jesse's doing what she's doing because she knows. She's like, oh, like she knows.
I'm checking the time because
Yeah.
Kenny has to play at the V spot.
I took you guys an hour for the real band to come out, but now it's all.
There we
all
go.
out. Yeah,
This
I mean,
is
if you
still at,
have
like,
to head out,
50%.
you can if you want to pop out.
Jesse's my
before we-
chariot.
Okay, so
We're
we'll
leaving Dave and
let's
Rick.
Wait, are you going to it?
Okay, yeah. That's fine. Yeah. Oh yeah, take it home.
let's wrap up with the gig.
Oh.
Hold on.
Oh. Okay.
What do you guys,
guys ever
have
planned this
planned
beforehand?
for
I
the
don't.
V-Spot show?
What?
What do you guys have planned for the V-Spot show? You guys are headlining the night, I believe?
Yes, co-headlining with Coppermine.
All right, so let's talk about that and plug that show for everybody.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't really
We're
have much to say.
co-headlining with Copper.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Rick's got it.
Yeah.
It's going to be
I'll
one
put
of
the
the...
flyer up on the screen.
Yeah,
Cruel Bomb is sick. I don't know the other two bands too well, but they
Eternal
all sound
Laceration.
pretty decent. Yeah.
My Thor.
Eternal Laceration as well as playing.
Yep.
This show is going to be one of the most heavy shows in the area, like, recently. Even I've been checking out everybody's Spotify just to get a good feeling for everybody. That's what I try to do is, like, every time we play a show, give everybody a listen just to see what we're walking into, right? But this overall is going to be one of the heaviest shows that I've seen played at the V-Spot. A lot of doom, a lot of just beat down hardcore stuff. I know Coppermine just played that killer show with the wrestling promotion, Smash Master Wrestling.
Yeah.
That looked like a killer show to be at.
We will have some video of that. That is pretty interesting. Yeah, it was crazy.
But I mean, Coppermine's been doing a lot of work. They just put out their new single, Her Favorite Color's Getting Green. Amazing song. I got a little sneak peek. Thanks, Sean. But overall, with all the music that is getting put out, Methoria, right? How do you pronounce that?
I thought it was.
I'm sorry, one more time.
I thought it was Maya Thor.
Mythora?
I
thought
don't
it
ask
was
me. I
Midoriya.
can't. Yeah.
Unless I'm pronouncing it
I have no
wrong.
idea.
Sorry, guys, but Jerry put us on to them. They've never been across state lines. They're a band out of New York, so
Okay.
getting them a chance to get down here, play in PA. So like just how Traverse kind of opened the doors for us and let us play, that little metal fest that they did. Really trying to pay it forward to a lot of people. And that's crazy to say because we're only a year old, but we're still trying to push and open doors. We're a community. We actually talked about this with Dan Dearborn out of Encore. We did a little sit down with him on how it used to be kind of cutthroat in the community a long time ago between bands, but now we're all just trying to be a family and we're trying to do the right thing and push each other along. So this show is kind of the culmination of that.
And then, so once this show is over, you guys have a lot of stuff coming up. What are your plans for the rest of the year?
We got festivals in Harrisburg. I think back to back, 400th show, right?
It's not announced yet.
Oh, oops. Well, hopefully no one from Harrisburg is watching this. Well, besides,
You
this
can
is
shut
a
up
threat.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have shows. I shouldn't
I did
talk
see
now
Reed-
because apparently these shows aren't announced.
No, just that one. So we're playing
The
at
exact one. Thank
the
you.
Art Academy in Milton on March 15th.
Yeah.
March 15th.
March 15th, the Art Academy in Milton.
And then in April, we're playing at the Ritz on the 10th and with Wiseman's Fear. April 26th,
Sixth.
we're playing at the V-Spot with
Variant season.
Variant Season. Thanks, Dave. And then in May, we do have a few festivals that we're playing. The one that has been announced is Rebirth Fest. We're playing at Reverb with a whole bunch of bands.
Coppermine on the bill too. This is a threat. Shout out. This is a threat. Real fucking homies.
Yes.
You're.
But Wretched Tongues is on that. In Gloom, Nine Dead. Pretty big bands. I've been listening to Wretched Tongues for a while, so I'm pretty excited to play with them.
May 17th, we got the 400th show at Lovedraft.
One that's not announced yet.
Wow, we're really
Yeah, Dad, join in the mud with me. Hey.
Oh,
Leaking.
You didn't fucking specify which one.
Leaks.
Kenny said Fest in
were you
Pittsburgh.
even here for the conversation?
We
It was
also
5
have
minutes.
some festivals in.
He said festivals in Pittsburgh, and she's like, they're not. Oh, that wasn't announced yet.
Wait. Oh,
That's literally what he said.
sweet mother of fuck.
There are some festivals in Pittsburgh as well that are not announced, but we can say that there's festivals in Pittsburgh. Yeah, you can go.
All right.
I'll go with Rick.
All right. So we'll wrap up there. So Plot Armor, the debut EP from No Fight No Victory, is available now.
Well, he's just gonna go.
No,
Okay, yeah.
if he wants to stay, we'll stay.
Yeah.
He just has to go to the
I
show.
unfortunately have a
Yeah.
gig.
No, that's,
He's just
that's
gonna
fine.
take my car.
That's fine. No, I mean that's all my questions. Unless you guys have anything else that you wanted to add.
Oh, okay.
I mean, no.
I already said my sponsorship, so I'm good.
All right.
Oh
Yeah,
my
and, like,
lord.
Did you want to plug that one more time? Did you want to tell people where to find?
No, I'll spare him. I'll spare him. It's already spammed. They already know.
Okay.
No, but like on a final note, thank you, especially
Yes.
for everything you do for the local scene.
Yeah, for
you've
real.
supported
100%.
a lot. You've pushed people. You've been that voice. You're not afraid to go to different stuff and cover it and really put it out into the public eye. So we want to thank you personally from us.
Oh well, thank you. I appreciate that very
course.
much.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
for real.
thank you.
Thank you.
You've been like a big constant for like the local scene. So I know it's not just us. A lot like everybody appreciates the shit you do, man. For real.
I appreciate you guys doing what you do. Otherwise, I wouldn't exist. I would just disappear. Like,
Phase out of
Thanos snapped out of existence.
yes, exactly. Yeah. All right, so Plot Armor, the debut EP from No Fight No Victory, is available now on all major streaming platforms, along with the singles Caged in Fear and The Godhand. Make sure you check out that music video. No Fight No Victory is headlining a night of heavy metal this Friday, February 28th at the V Spot in Scranton with Coppermine, Cruel Bomb, Mythoria. We're going to go with that pronunciation.
I looked it up. That looks to be right. I was wrong before, yeah.
And Eternal Laceration. Admission is $10 at the door. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in and adding your conversation down below there. Jerry said Dave's fired.
Love you, Jerry.
Tell Jerry to fuck off.
Yeah, fuck you, Jerry.
And Matthew says, does Kenny even lift?
Matthew said that.
I don't know which Matthew he's talking about.
Volak.
Fuck him.
And no comments from your buddy from Trapped, unfortunately.
Oh, man.
We'll get him one day.
He threatened me. I was trying to get him to come back and play in Scranton. And he wouldn't do it. He just blocked me instead.
Should we just start seeing if he wants to open up for us at some point?
Oh, absolutely.
Just start
the fuck
sending
not.
messages.
No. Because no place that we would ever play would fucking book him.
True.
He already got fucking. He already got fucking.
Yeah.
He already got banned from fucking Lovedrafts when they tried to play that tour coming into Lovedrafts, and you know all of his goofy fans were trying to like cancel Lovedrafts, and I was just like, dude, there's 6 of you, shut the fuck up.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. And thank you guys for tuning in. Do all of the good algorithm things like share, comment, all that good stuff to get the word out to more and more people. And we will see you here next Wednesday for another NEPA Scene Podcast. Have a good night, everybody.
Hoorah.
Fuck off.
I can't believe you just said hoorah.
Of course I did.